Welcome to OOTO TV, the out-of-the-office investigation from our past into the future of personal health and psychophysiological actualization. This time we're discussing the bioelectric body, healing through sound frequency modulation and neural physiological health. You know, this material really flips the script on how we tend to view medicine.
It absolutely does.
We're so used to thinking of the body as, I guess, a chemical factory, but the evidence we have in front of us, it shows it's fundamentally electric. It's a highly sophisticated biocircuit.
The whole ball game right there.
So our mission today is to move beyond that chemistry-first model and really investigate how applying sound and vibration, what we're calling frequency medicine, can act as this powerful, non-invasive tool.
And that's the key distinction, right? The electric nature of life. I mean, this isn't some new age theory. It's validated every single second in hospitals.
With an ECG or an EEG?
Yeah, exactly. An ECG measuring the heart's rhythm, and EEG tracking brainwaves. It's all electricity. And the foundation, the one thing you have to carry through this whole discussion, is that the body's electrical activity comes first. It precedes, and it controls the chemical activity.
So if you can tune the electricity,
you can direct the chemistry. So today we're going to explore some of the historical giants who first measured this bioelectric field. Then we'll get right into the specific neural effects of frequency modulation on brain health, on pain.
Okay.
And finally, we'll look at how vibration and sound can actually drive cellular regeneration in tissue, bone, muscle. It really changes how you look at health.
Let's start with some of the most dramatic evidence. We have to go back to the 1960s, to Yale, Dr. Jose Delgado.
The Bull experiment.
The Bull experiment. It's undeniable proof of electrical control. He implants electrodes deep in the brain of a charging bull, and with just a button on a remote control.
Just a simple radio signal?
He sends an electrical signal that just shuts down the bull's aggression instantly. It stops mid-charge. That's not a chemical reaction taking time to work.
No, that's pure instantaneous electrical command.
Yeah.
And while Delgado's work was maybe the flashiest, the science behind it, the idea of a biofield, goes back even further.
Harold Saxton Burr.
Also at Yale, funnily enough, he spent decades establishing the concept of the life field.
Which is what exactly? An organizing field.
An electromagnetic organizing field, yeah. It surrounds and permeates every living thing. And what makes his work so powerful is that he could measure voltage changes in that field.
Right, and he showed that these voltage shifts correlated with, well, everything. Growth, development, and critically, they showed up before the physical illness did.
Exactly. The disease pattern existed in the electromagnetic blueprint first. It's like an electrical weather forecast for the body. The field is the barometer, predicting the storm before the rain falls.
That's a great way to put it. And then you have the crucial work of Dr. Robert Becker.
The orthopedic surgeon, yeah. He was studying regeneration.
The current of injury.
That's it. He saw that with an animal like a salamander, if it loses a limb, the site of that injury shifts to a strong, measurable negative voltage. That specific electrical signature is the signal. It's the go command to start regrowing the limb.
And so Becker took that insight and tried to apply it.
He did.
Yeah.
He took animals that can't normally regenerate tissue, and he applied these tiny external electric fields that mimicked the salamander's negative voltage.
And it worked.
It worked. He induced regrowth. It was definitive proof that we could sort of borrow nature's own electrical repair system. Then you add in Dr. Bjorn Nordenstrom, a radiologist, who theorized the whole body is just wired with electric circuits running through our blood vessels.
Okay, so here's the friction point. We have Delgado, Burr, Becker, Nordenstrom, 4 foundational researchers proving the dominance of this bioelectric system. But these findings are, largely absent from mainstream medicine today. What gives?
It's not a scientific failure. It's historical, it's political, it's commercial.
The Flexner Report.
The 1910 Flexner Report in the U.S., it cemented everything. It systematically favored the biochemical model, institutionalized pharmaceuticals, and it essentially pushed electromedicine and nutrition right out of the established medical schools.
So it wasn't that the science failed. A paradigm was just legally enforced to focus only on tangible chemical drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the logic of it is just stunning. You can hold a pill, you can see it, you can sell it, but energy, frequency, it's invisible. It's harder to patent and package and monetize in the same way. The preference for selling molecules just trumped the reality of energy.
You're listening to OOTO TV with research by author Paul Bulow. So if electricity is the language of the body, then the brain is really the master translator. It has to convert everything: light, sound, touch into electrical signals to make sense of the world.
Hmm.
This brings us directly to frequency modulation in the nervous system. So how can sound frequency modulation and neurophysiological health affect our mental and physical health?
The mechanism is something we can actually measure. It's called brainwave entrainment. Our brain activity is defined by these oscillations, these brain waves. SFM, or frequency medicine, just provides an external rhythmic stimulus that guides the brain into specific states.
Like tuning a radio.
It's exactly like tuning a radio.
Right.
The brain just naturally locks on to the strongest frequency it's given. So if we introduce a stimulus around, say, 10 hertz, we encourage alpha waves.
Which is that calm, alert, flow state.
Right. If you go lower into delta, you're promoting deep restorative sleep and healing. Go higher up to gamma, and you're boosting high-level cognition and focus. By providing this rhythmic sensory input, you are literally tuning the brain's electrical state.
Yeah.
And that directly impacts mood, focus, even pain.
And this link between rhythm and neural response, it can address some really complex conditions. We're talking about things that come from a circuit dysfunction, right? Specifically, thalamocortical dysrhythmia, or TCD.
TCD is essentially a timing error in the brain, a dysregulation of the circuits between the thalamus and the cortex. And it's implicated in some devastating conditions.
Parkinson's, chronic pain.
Major depressive disorder. But the exciting part is you don't necessarily need invasive surgery or potent drugs to fix a timing error. You can potentially fix it with a precise frequency.
And the most famous research in this area right now involves Alzheimer's models.
Oh, yeah. The studies are remarkable. They use 40 hertz rhythmic sensory stimulation, that's a gamma frequency, in mice bred to have Alzheimer's. And this frequency was shown to specifically drive these fast spiking interneurons, which are crucial for connectivity.
And the result was?
A quantifiable reduction in the harmful amyloid beta plaques, lower inflammation in the brain, and improved cognitive performance. I mean, that's not just managing symptoms. That's frequency altering the actual pathology of the disease.
And we're seeing this translate into clinical use with things like cranial electrotherapy stimulation, CES, like the Alpha Stim device.
CES is a perfect real-world example. It's using microcurrents. We're talking millions of an amp through little electrodes on your earlobes.
That's a tiny amount of electricity.
Incredibly small. And these microcurrents modulate the brain's activity. Imaging shows it increases alpha waves for relaxation and decreases delta waves, so you feel less sleepy. The outcome is this state people describe as feeling more alert and more relaxed at the same time.
What about this safety profile compared to, say, standard treatments for anxiety or depression? That seems like a huge differentiator.
It's not even in the same league. The clinical efficacy is strong. One study had 83% of participants get a 50% or greater reduction in anxiety or depression. But the safety, it's just vastly superior to antidepressants with their long list of side effects.
Yeah.
With CES, a mild headache or skin irritation happened in less than 1% of patients.
Wow.
That high efficacy with minimal risk, it just makes a powerful case for frequency as a primary treatment.
And we know this isn't just happening in the brain. Frequency affects our deeper visceral connections, too, through the vagus nerve.
Correct. The vagus nerve is the body's superhighway for calming everything down. And low-frequency sound, applied non-invasively to the abdomen at, say, 240 hertz, is linked to a reduction in depression.
How does that work?
The theory is it stimulates the Pacinian corpuscles, which are pressure receptors in your skin, and they send signals up the vagus nerve to initiate that relaxation response. We've even seen that vibration at just 20 hertz can increase levels of GABA, the inhibitory neurotransmitter, in the brain. It's a direct link between frequency input and your body's own natural chill-out chemistry.
You're listening to OOTO TV with research by author Paul Brullo.
Okay, so we've established how frequency can tune the brain. Now let's move to the physical body. The cells, the blood flow, the actual structural tissues. So what are key elements for sound frequency modulation and neurophysiological health?
The core element, the thing that underpins all of this, is without a doubt resonance. If the body's a symphony, you have to tune each instrument to its precise note.
Right.
And low-intensity frequency stimulation. It's like it provides a buffet of frequencies for cell receptors to choose from. When a frequency matches a specific cellular function like an ion channel opening, the cell absorbs that energy and its function changes.
So it's the match, not the power.
Exactly. It's the match of the frequency, not the dose of the energy. And that's key. This fundamental idea that sound frequency modulation and neurophysiological health suggest that sound may be good for health is supported because you get profound change without the side effects that come from just blasting the system with high-dose chemicals.
And that concept of resonance is so crucial for driving systemic change, especially in your blood flow, the hemodynamic system.
Okay.
Vibration is an incredibly potent stimulator of endothelial cells. That's the critical lining of your blood vessels. This stimulation causes them to release nitric oxide, or NO.
And there's research on this?
Oh, yeah. They applied just 50 hertz vibration to a forearm and saw NO production increase by a massive 374%.
And nitric oxide is way more than just a blood vessel dilator. It's key for neuroprotection, isn't it?
Absolutely. It doesn't just improve your circulation. Its release also induces these essential growth factors, like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF.
A miracle grow for the brain.
That's what they call it. So rhythmic frequency stimulation becomes this non-invasive strategy for neuroprotection and neurotherapy. You're sending more blood flow and more growth factors to your brain and your heart.
It's all connected.
Which brings us down to the most fundamental level, your cells. Exposure to sound frequency modulation and neural physiological health is critical to our healthy mitochondrial and cellular replication. We have evidence showing 50 hertz vibration enhances mitochondrial biogenesis, creating new powerhouses in the cell. And then there's the 528 hertz frequency, which is often called the DNA repair frequency.
Let's shift to the structural system, muscle and bone. SFM acts as a kind of surrogate for exercise, right?
It does. Low magnitude, high frequency vibration is like a passive workout. It stimulates the muscle stretch reflex, which leads directly to muscle growth, hypertrophy, and, maybe more importantly, it actively inhibits the genes responsible for muscle wasting, like myostatin.
And that anabolic effect extends to bone health, too.
Powerfully. Vibration encourages stem cells to become osteoblasts, the cells that build new bone, while at the same time it inhibits osteoclasts, the cells that break bone down.
So it's working both sides of the equation.
It is. And this leads to real demonstrable improvements in bone mineral density. We see it in postmenopausal women, in children with mobility issues. It's clear that sound frequency modulation and neurophysiological health creates a healthy environment for cellular growth and success. Even in an area as sensitive as cancer research, low-frequency fields have shown they can inhibit cancer cell proliferation at energy levels that are less than 1,000th of a cell phone. The subtlety and the safety are just astounding.
You're listening to OOTO TV with research by author Paul Bullo. We've really covered the full spectrum of the bioelectric body today, from Delgado's remote-controlled bowl all the way to enhancing stem cells and driving neuroprotection with BDNF. The sheer volume of evidence it's pretty compelling.
I think the synthesis is clear. The effectiveness is all about precision and low intensity. It's not brute force. It's the precise frequency match, that resonance, that unlocks the healing.
Right.
I mean, look at the research on vibropercussion at 50 hertz. It showed enhanced blood clot dissolution, and it worked synergistically with standard stroke drugs. It's a simple, safe, vibratory intervention that can be a profound partner to existing medicine.
So let's get to the final critical question for our listeners. Can sound frequency modulation and neural physiological health improve our human health?
Based on everything we've looked at, I have to enthusiastically say yes. Absolutely. Frequency medicine is a profound ally. When we precisely tune the body electric, we get outcomes like that 83% success rate in reducing anxiety and depression that can equal or even exceed conventional methods, but with a dramatically superior safety profile.
So it's not just about treatment, but prevention.
Exactly. Sound frequency modulation and neurophysiological health can be linked to preventing illness and increasing longevity. We see it supported by evidence of adrenomedulin release, combating oxidative stress, the immune system benefits from ion cyclotron resonance, and targeted cellular regeneration across so many different tissue types.
So the final step for the scientific community has to be integration then. It seems like the field is fractured. I've got whole body vibration over here, vibroacoustic therapy over there.
They're all in their own silos, but they're all discovering the same fundamental mechanisms. It's imperative that researchers start looking for these commonalities, unify the data, and advance this into widespread clinical application.
It's clearly important.
And that leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to consider at home. Given that these low-frequency fields can be tuned with stunning precision to manipulate specific ions like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and knowing that this process has been shown to make an 80-year-old's blood behave with the responsiveness of a 40-year-old's, what unexplored frequencies could you utilize today to maximize your own internal health and resilience?
Thank you for joining us on this investigation into the future of health and psychophysiological actualization on OOTO TV. We hope you will use this knowledge.